let's go over to the Big 12 because we haven't talked enough Big 12 today. We talked about Utah, Arizona State. Let's get over to Iowa State, West Virginia. Iowa State. They're ranked pretty high, aren't they? I think people are pretty high, especially after that game against Baylor. They had a win against Iowa where they came back and won in pretty awesome fashion, hit a big field goal in that game. Iowa State fans are going to hate me, but I'm still not sold on Iowa State. I just need to see more, dude. I just need to see more. I like Rocco Beck, all right? And I like the pieces that they have on defense. They've looked really good from a defensive standpoint. Metrically, they've looked awesome. They've forced turnovers. They've prevented scores. They've looked okay in the red zone. Their secondary has been awesome. But I look at some of these teams that they've played and their offenses. Are you blown away by a lot of these offenses that Iowa State's played against this year?
No, that was Houston. I think that was before Zion Chris too. So
yep,
they look like a different football team with him in there in the Big 12. No, really haven't. And at Baylor with the backup quarterback who potentially playing better than what Daquan Finn was, but yeah, it's still remains to be seen. And are they really that? And we're kind of getting to that stage where we're going to start getting more and more data points. We're going to be able to have our opinions validated or obviously neglected here or reversed. In this case, I think it'll be reversed. I like Iowa State in this spot. Listen, even on the road here, -3, right? That's what we're picking at. I like that. I think Iowa State offensively is going to be able to get after West Virginia in a similar way we saw Eli Holstein get after them, especially in that second half against Pittsburgh. Now, yes, West Virginia should probably be 4-1 right now. They blew that game.
Yeah.
Blew that game. And a lot more people will be talking about that. But here's the thing. They're still 2-0 in conference. This is an undefeated Big 12 conference game. With the way Utah and the way, obviously, Oklahoma State, you got teams like Arizona and Kansas State kind of struggling too. This game matters a ton to both of these teams. The winner puts themselves in a big-time spot moving forward as we get through this Big 12, which we knew was going to be crazy, but holy cow, I didn't think it would be this crazy. I don't know. I like Iowa State here. Don't feel great about it. I'm not going to be betting on it at all at our counter. West Virginia, with the way they run the football, the way Garrett Green's been playing recently, you know what? I like their identity. I like teams who have an identity and stick to it, right? But that only gets you so far. I think Iowa State is explosive enough to take advantage and to put West Virginia in bad spots. Negative game script that favors Iowa State. Get ahead early on the road. That's big. Yeah.
I think there's a chance that West Virginia can gash them in the run game. I'll take West Virginia at home. I'll take the points, +3. I'll take West Virginia to win straight up here. I just don't think Iowa State's been tested this year. All right, they played against Iowa. It was a tough game. I believe it was on the road too. Did they win in Iowa? Yeah, they did. And credit to them. I don't know what really happened for Iowa there in the second half. Just Caleb Johnson ran for 187 yards. 187 yards. And then for some reason they just stalled out in the second half and allowed Iowa State to win that football game. And I know West Virginia's defense isn't great. Okay, I know it's not. Iowa State's offense. And tell me I'm wrong. Aside from the Baylor game, well, I guess the Arkansas State game, but who hasn't looked good against Arkansas State? Just when it's mattered against, Houston, did they look all that great? No. North Dakota, did they look all that great? No. I'm leaning West Virginia here. And it's stupid because I liked West Virginia preseason. Okay. And I liked Iowa State, but I didn't love Iowa State preseason. Maybe I'm just trying to make sure that my preseason predictions, I'm still holding on to those. But I don't love the way that West Virginia has played in some of these games, particularly. The Penn State game, it was pretty awful. Pitt, I mean, what were we doing in that game? That was just ridiculous. But they're not a very penalized team. Neither is Iowa State. But on the road, that is a tough environment to play in. It is a tough environment to play in. Both these teams are playing for a lot. I just kind of like the Mountaineers in this spot. If you're going to give me 3, but I also think that they can win, so I'll take them to win. But yeah, it'll be interesting. If Iowa State shuts down West Virginia's run game, I'm inclined to believe that Iowa State probably will be my favorite up there with, like, in my opinion, Iowa State can change really fast after this game. If they come out here and Rocco Betts slings the football and he looks awesome and they shut down West Virginia's run game, I'm going to be like, all right, this Iowa State team has college football playoffs written all over it. Just need to see what they do, in those future games with that schedule. Because in my eyes right now, I'm looking at Utah and Kansas State. I feel like are teams that are legitimately talented enough to win the Big 12 and win the college or go into the college football playoffs. But you got teams like Texas Tech, that are fighting right now out there, which I don't feel great about moving forward. And then Iowa State right here is just a big, big fat question mark for me. And I know they're not a question mark for a lot of people, but I just feel like I still need to see more. So prove me wrong, Cyclones. But I'll lay it with West Virginia. Sorry, I'll take the points.
Yeah, real quick here on that game. If you're Iowa State, right, times we've seen them lose is when they just abandon the run game or they never even try to get it done. I will credit them this year. They have done that. They have committed to running the football, even against Iowa, who is very, very hard to run against. Jalen Jackson has been awesome. 5'7", 180. Eastern Michigan transfer before that, Lamar. We love that kind of kid. Carson Hansen looks good, the young kid out of Minnesota. I don't know what happened with Abu Sam. I was trying to find some kind of injury update, against Baylor and why he didn't get a ton of run because he's been running the football well as well. But you've got 3 guys you feel good about. Continue to give them the rock because Noel and Higgins get a ton of credit, and they should. A lot of hype around those two in the Big 12. But for Iowa State to go on the road here, you cannot abandon the run. You have to establish that early. Get Garrett Green and that Jaheim White. All those guys are on West Virginia, forcing them to, throw the football, put the ball in harm's way, and then you can really be opportunistic with your defense.